Hello again, my name is Wukile. Welcome to this program where we are dealing with the G major pentatonic scale on the bass fretboard. This is bass. Welcome to the bass. And we have dealt so far with the first mode of the G major pentatonic scale, which is called the G major pentatonic mode. And we have dealt with the second mode, which is the A suspended pentatonic mode, dealt with the third mode, which is the B mangong pentatonic mode, and we've dealt with the fourth mode, which is the D reducing mode. Okay, and we've seen the formulas. The next program will give you a crowning overview of these modes, and today we're dealing with the fifth shape of the major or the G major pentatonic scale, and the fifth mode would start on the shape on the note E, or the fifth note. Now let's just put it there, and we can enjoy things there. And we're gonna have, look at that nice shape there. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful shape. Okay, I like this part here, which is protruding there, and that one which is protruding. And this is just a nice grid there. Your fingers can run through there very quickly without any problem. For fast playing, it's quite good because this is a 2-note per string scale, or you can do it as a 2-note per string kind of scale. So that's one method of playing. I'll show you different methods of playing this scale here. There's so many different methods that you can use to play this scale. And by the way, let's look at the formula. So the formula for the G major pentatonic scale, we always refer to that. The G major pentatonic scale, the formula is 1 2 3 5 6 1. And the intervallic formula, we're always referring to the first string there, which is from G to A. That's tone, and then tone, 1.5 tones, tone, 1.5 tones. That's our formula for the G major pentatonic scale. And in this particular one, you have 1 octave there from G to G. So G, A, B, D, E, G. Okay, we'll talk about playing this scale and accenting the or ending at the root, so that you sound like you are in that scale. Okay, so we'll talk about that. It's a nice thing to talk about. Now let's talk about this mode here. This mode is called the E minor pentatonic mode, or the popular known as the E minor pentatonic scale. Okay, is the fifth mode of the major pentatonic scale. So the minor pentatonic mode is the fifth and last mode of the major pentatonic scale. Okay, so looking at the formula, you find that you look at from E in this octave to E in that octave. So we are going to analyze this. So this is from E to G, that's 1.5 tones. G to A, that's a tone. A to B, that's a tone. B to D, that's a tone. D to E, that's a tone. So in simple language, it's 1.5 tones, tone, tone, 1.5 tones, tone. Okay, that's our E minor pentatonic mode. Okay, which is the fifth mode of the G major pentatonic scale. So let's look at it in terms of degrees. Again, like I said in the previous episodes, if you want to figure out the formula of any scale for that matter, you superimpose it on the major scale, starting with the note in that scale, of that scale. Say E. You want to find what E hexatonic scale formula is. You superimpose it on E major scale. If you want to figure out what E bebop major scale is, the formula is, knowing the notes, you just superimpose it on the E major scale, and then you get it. Okay, so we are going to deal with all these all these scales, but today we're dealing with the this scale here, which is called the G major pentatonic scale, and we are now figuring out the formula for this. We've done the intervallic formula, which is 1.5 tones, tone, tone, 1.5 tones, tone. Now the formula in terms of degrees is 1, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 7, and back to 1. This is the formula for the minor pentatonic scale. Okay, minor pentatonic scale or minor pentatonic mod. Minor pentatonic scale. Okay, that's 1, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 7, 1. Okay, so this is beautiful. So it's again 1, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 7, and back to 1. So that's our formula there. Now we're gonna go to the shape and look at the shape again. Like I said, this is a very beautiful shape. Down here on the second fretboard, E, T, G. Now if you do that in terms of the fretboard numbers, you're gonna find out this is the 12th fret here, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17th fret here, 18, 19, 20th fret. So it's actually 17, 19, sorry, 17, 20, okay, 17, 19, 17, 19, 17, 19, 16, 19. Okay, so that's the beautiful part of it. It's the beauty of this is it's got that, which is 1.5 tones, and 1.5 tones is on the other string there, but you know, kind of shifted backwards like that, and this one is shifted, you know, forwards like that. So, and these are in line, you know. So you got a fret that is no not there in the major pentatonic scale. So this is beautiful. That's a beautiful mod there. So you find this minor pentatonic scale is one of the most used mods of the major pentatonic scale, or one of the most used scale. Okay, one of the most used scales. So you find a lot of music, Western music, uses minor pentatonic scales. Now, just one thing that I want to tell you about the relationship between a major and a minor. If you take a major scale and you go to the sixth and you start a mod from the sixth, that mode is called the Aeolian mode, and it's called a relative minor of that major scale. Okay, so that's where the term relative minor and relative major comes from. So G is a relative major of E minor pentatonic. So G major is a relative major of E minor pentatonic, and E minor pentatonic is a relative minor of G major pentatonic. So they are relatives. You find that they have the same notes. They have the same kind of notes in there, and you can play one in place of the other, and ending, of course, on the right note so that you sound like you're on scale, or you're in the chord that's being played. So this is very important. The relative minor, relative major situation is very important. So the minor pentatonic scale, like we said, is the fifth mode and the last mode of the major pentatonic scale, and it's one of the most widely used scales in Western music. Okay, we'll talk about other pentatonic scales which are not major or minor, or which don't fall in these modes here. We'll talk about those because there are lots of other pentatonic scales that you can create from the 7-note scales, or from the major scale. You can create a lot of other pentatonic scales. So You know what? Let's reiterate here. We have said that we're dealing here with the G major pentatonic scale, whose formula is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. And it's actually 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 1. Sorry for the 4 there. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 1. So there are 5 notes there. Anytime you hear more than 5 notes, oh, you must say, okay, no, stop there. And you check out what note has been added in there. So I had added a fourth there. No, there is no fourth in the major pentatonic scale. Okay, the fourth is actually out of there. It's been plugged out. So the formula for the major pentatonic scale, we have said it's 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 1. And the formula for the fifth mode of the major pentatonic scale, which is also called the minor pentatonic mode or the minor pentatonic scale, is 1 flat 3 4 5 flat 7 1, 1 flat 3 4 5 flat 7, and back to 1. And the intervallic formula is 1.5 tones, tone, tone, 1.5 tones, tone. So that's the intervallic formula there. Now please practice these, and if you have any questions, and I know them as I speak, I might add some, I might speak, I might do some mistake there. Please just bear with me, because that's speaking. You make mistakes when you're speaking. So that's it. So this is minor pentatonic scale here. Please practice it, and practice all the shapes. You must learn to practice all shapes of any scale, so that you apply them in any situation that you want to apply, that you're faced with, and you always find yourself conquering the situation there. You don't have to get stuck when a certain type of music is played and you don't know how to solo over it or how to put a bass over it. Sometimes just playing the notes of a scale in a bass situation is quite good. And there are situations where the bass is required to solo over a rhythm that is playing in the background. So you need to know these scales for you to be able to solo. And scales are a good place to apply techniques. Okay. And we're not only going to study scales, we're also going to study triads and chords, and then the techniques applied to them, and then arpeggios as well. So that's what we're going to do. Oh, my name is Vukile. I thank you for subscribing and for watching this program, which is dealing with the major pentatonic scale, the G major pentatonic scale in particular. And we have been dealing with the fifth mode and the last mode in this program. So watch the next program, please. It's going to summarize all these things. And we're going to deal with these things practically on the fretboard. Cheers, mates. Bye.